The NFL season has almost hit the halfway point, and we're getting a great look at what rookies are going to be superstars and what rookies might not live up to that potential and be a bust long term. While there have been some rookies that haven't lived up to expectations, there are plenty of guys that have been breakout candidates between first round picks and players going in later rounds. We're going to get to all the players that have long term superstar potential and that we are most impressed with so far here on Blitz Sports Media. What's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzlink, and I'm here with Dan Loya. Dan, them 7 rookies we got on this list, whatever the number is, these guys have been balling out this year. And I think it's safe to say that these guys have some long-term all-pro upside, superstar upside, whatever you want to call it, and have definitely been draft day steals for a lot of these teams. And we're going to start with Tyler Warren, tight end for the Indianapolis Colts. He has been an absolute mauler, absolute superstar, and has been one of the key cogs in this turnaround for Indianapolis. Dan, talk to me about Tyler Warren and what's made him so successful.
Yeah, well, first things first, he's a football player, man. Just get the ball in his hands, and he knows what to do with it, man. I had the pleasure of going to the Fiesta Bowl here in Glendale, right behind me in the stadium, and I got to see Tyler Warren up close, and he's huge. He can catch the football. He's quick, man, and he's just like Boise State had no answers that day for him. So ever since then, I saw him. I was like, wow, this guy's gonna be real special in the league. And so far through 7 games, he's proved it. I mean, currently among tight ends, he's first in receiving yards. And what's impressive to me is his 264 yards after the catch ranked first
Yeah.
as well among tight ends. He's a special player, and for some reason, he was the second tight end off the board. Chicago didn't think he fitted in that system, but the Colts are happy about it because so far the Colts love him. Last week he was first on the team in target share, and this week he's currently second with a 20.3 target share as a rookie. That's impressive. So far so good for Tyler Warren, 6'6" tight end out of Penn State. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, we talk about, younger tight ends coming in. Obviously, Trey McBride and Brock Bowers have been popular names. Tyler
Yeah.
Warren's right up there with him with his long-term upside, and I think they might have found their franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. It might be premature on that, but Warren is going to have a quarterback who's paired with him for quite some time, and he's got 45 targets already this season. He's shown that around
Right.
the red zone, he's also elite. Like, the biggest questions with Tyler Warren
A
is,
weapon.
can his athletic skill set translate to the NFL level? There have been no questions about that. You mentioned the yards after the catch. I am just baffled that the Bears. What I mean, we haven't seen enough of Colston Loveland, so I'm not going to say that Colston Loveland is a bust or anything like that. We have
No,
not seen him play enough.
he's a good player too.
But Tyler Warren and his production in college and what he's shown in the NFL should have been the tight end one off the board. And Indianapolis has clearly been rewarded with that because Tyler Warren is a budding superstar and is going to be one of the best tight ends for the next decade. And the Colts just happen to find their franchise quarterback potentially
Yeah.
and tight end in the same year.
Well, I think the thing is too. I just remembered is it's good things come for those who wait, because I know the Colts really wanted Brock Bowers last year, and they couldn't get him. The Raiders snagged him with pick 13, so they wait a year later, and they got their franchise tight end who's really special. So shout out to the Colts.
100%. Let's get to the next guy. We're going to switch to a different side of the field with 2 straight linebackers. You guys know the first one. You might be surprised with the second one. Jihaad Campbell for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the other linebacker, Carson Schwesinger for the Cleveland Browns. Let's start with Jihaad. This guy has been blanketing receivers in coverage, and the Eagles have formed the best tandem at linebacker in Zach Bond and Jihaad Campbell. Both are great in coverage, and Jihaad has been the best linebacker in coverage as a rookie, Dan. This team who has a good pass rush already, you got Jalen Carter long term there. You drafted 2 elite corners in Quinshon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean last year. Now the Eagles and Howie Roseman find Jihaad Campbell at the end of the first round. What a steal, man. 43 tackles this year. Great in coverage. I do think his run stuff ability can continue to get a little bit better, but he also plays alongside Zach Bond. It makes his life a lot easier, and he doesn't have to be asked to do just as much. But this guy can cover any tight end. He can even match up against some slot receivers if they want to try that here and there. He is such an incredible athlete, and Philadelphia once again finds a gem. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, my takeaway is the rich get richer. That's my headline for
Yeah,
this. Jihaad Campbell falls to pick 31 in the first round for the Philadelphia Eagles, and through 7 games, I've been impressed. I watched his film, and he's just he pops. He pops off the screen. I love his body type. He's 6'3", 235, and he's quick, man. I'm glad you brought up the coverage. He's got an 83.1 PFF coverage grade. He's got in coverage. He's stingy. He's got two passes defense. He's got one interception on a year. He's real athletic. And what I do like about him, like from the tape, was his run game. I thought his ability to shed blockers showed up, and I was really impressed by that. So yeah, he's third on the team, like you said, 43 total tackles. He plays a lot too for a rookie.
yeah.
Obviously, Zach Ball plays the most, but he's currently 93% of the time he's on the field. So shout out to him, man. Product out of Bama, he's playing a lot, and he's been a good investment, a late round investment for the Eagles, man. I like him.
100%. There could have been some other teams that could have used a linebacker right ahead of the Eagles there. But let's talk about the next one, Carson Schwesinger from the Cleveland Browns. The guy has been an absolute dog. And, the
Yeah,
Browns make this list multiple times. You'll see the second guy shortly here. But, I mean, they did a great job of adding talent at different positions. They knew they weren't super high in the quarterback class, and they traded back. They got an extra first rounder next year. They didn't necessarily want Travis Hunter, and they were able to retool this roster. Defensively, you had Mason Graham, and you pair a linebacker with him, and I mean, now you got an elite defense already with Myles Garrett, some other key names mixed in there as well. You had some rookies mixed in there. That's long-term sustained success on one side of the ball. And we have seen this Browns defense, despite the struggles on the offensive side of the ball, continue this year. And, Schweisner is a tackling machine. I mean, 59 tackles
yeah,
this year. He's top 10 in the NFL in tackles right now. He's very solid against, tight ends and coverage as well, which is a big time sign for his long-term longevity at the position. Like, the guy can do it all. And it is a great sign that you have him paired with Mason Graham in the first round. You get Judkins as well in there. Harold Fannin has looked good as well. They're trying out
yeah.
Dylan Gabriel right now to see what they have. Like, great job by the Cleveland Browns. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like this guy too. Carson Schwesinger, 6'2", 242, 33rd overall pick. So second round pick for Cleveland. They had a solid draft, but I really like this player. Like you said, 59 total tackles. He currently leads the team in tackles, which is impressive for a rookie, man. Coming out of UCLA, he plays a lot too. That's a key component. He's a rookie. He's only 22 years old. He never leaves the field. He's playing 96% of the time. What popped out to me was he's playing more snaps than Myles Garrett and that first round pick, fifth overall pick, Mason Graham. So he never leaves the field. He's playing more than them, and it's crazy. He's a rookie. He's 22 years old. He's playing more than those guys, and the Browns trust him in that defense with Jim Schwartz. So I like his tape. He's a tackling machine, and I'm really excited where his career is going to go.
100%. Let's get to a high profile name here in Abdul Carter. And while the sack numbers haven't necessarily translated for him just yet, his force on the defensive line for New York has been really good to start this season. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy has 16 total tackles this year. He has 3 run stuffs this year already, and he's already had a ton of quick pressures in terms of his production this year. You pair that alongside Brian Burns, who has a strong argument for Defensive Player of the Year early on this season. Kayvon Thibodeau's there. Sexy Dexy's there as well. Like,
huh,
the Giants have the most frightening defensive line in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. They don't have a ton of talent outside of that defensive line on the defensive side of the ball, but man, they are talented up front. And they found a guy in Abdul Carter that even played inside linebacker when they needed it at times. He's so versatile, can play so many different positions. He is such a talented player, and this is absolutely what we'll love. And we'll pair Jaxson Dart with him as well. When you draft Jaxson Dart, a potential franchise quarterback who's already looked really good here through his early NFL career, alongside an elite young cornerstone edge rusher in Abdul Carter, you're going to be a good football team long term. And this New York Giants front office, well, they've been under a lot of scrutiny. They crushed this draft. Crushing on 2 guys in the first round like that who can completely change your franchise is awesome. Now, I don't know if Brian Dable is going to stick around throughout it, but I do believe that they did a great job in this draft, drafting a cornerstone on the defensive side of the ball to already pair with really good players in the front there, and then a quarterback that can completely change the franchise. And oh, we forgot about Cam Scadaboo, who's also been really good and a solid bruiser for them in the backfield. So they had a great draft class. Abdul Carter and Jaxson Dart have been superstars so far in their early on NFL careers. Dan, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. They got some cornerstones there. They got with in the 2025 draft. You know, shout out to the Giants. But just going back to Carter, I think he's a special player. Like I said, I went to that Fiesta Bowl. Man, I got to see Genty, I got to see Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren up close, and that's why I wanted to go. And just seeing Carter up close, you know, I thought he'd be bigger. Like my concern was like, wow, he's kind of small. I don't know if the TV
He's
does it
quick, dude.
justice,
He's
but
quick.
that's my point. If you're gonna be like not like I'm saying muscular, like just different body type, because people say he's the same size as Parsons, but I don't know. I think Parsons is a lot bigger, but let me tell you, Abdul Carter's fast, man. I gotta give some love to Chris Sims from NBC Sports. He came up with a great nickname for him. He calls him the Carter Comet. Okay, you know, he lights up the New York sky, dude. Dude, he's quick. He's electric. He's got 19 quick pressures on the season. So a quick pressure is getting to the quarterback in under 2.5 seconds. Okay, he leads the NFL in that. He's got overall, he's got 29 quarterback pressures. That's good for eighth in the NFL. He's first among rookies. If you want to know what this guy's all about, just put on the Chargers tape. He pops, man. That's what his potential is Chargers tape and more. I mean, he was special. You put on that tape, they couldn't block him. They moved him all over the formation, the defensive line. He was awesome. So shout out to Abdul Carter and those other rookies, Jaxson Dart and Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get to the running back position. We mentioned Cam Scadaboo, and I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier. It is Quinshon Judkins, a player that we had no clue if he was going to suit up this season, and we all do. He was incredibly talented, but what he has done is completely changed this Browns offense. If they did not have a good running back, and we saw it through the first few weeks of the season, this offense was going to be dormant. Well, they found themselves a gem in Quinshon Judkins at the running back position. 3 touchdowns this week against the Miami Dolphins. Has been a touchdown machine since taking over. And a lot of concerns were, well, who knows if he could handle a full-on, third down role as well, paired with, the early down work. He can do it all at the running back position. 4.3 yards per carry this season. Very, very good behind a bad offensive line. If they can find a quarterback to pair with Quinshon Judkins potentially in this next draft class, this Cleveland Browns team, like I mentioned before, did a great job in 2024. And that's the sign that if you find a quarterback to pair with this team, they could have some long-term sustained success with their 2024 draft class, Dan.
Yeah, Judkins pops, man. He was taken in the second round. The Browns, man, just another solid pick. Second round, 36 overall pick out of Ohio State. National champion last year in college. Yeah, like you said, it's kind of his breakout game against the Miami Dolphins last week. 3 touchdowns. But what really stood out to me is he's tough, man. Yards after contact. He's got 446 of those yards. He's currently third. Overall, he's got 467 rushing yards in 7 games. Well, 6 games, I guess. But first among rookies, 10 explosive runs. Yeah, I just like his tape. Just like you said, 4.3 yards per carry. He's tough. It's amazing. Let's see. Last week, yeah, I think he's looked apart so far this season, and I just like the player right now. He's playing extremely well.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get to our only offensive lineman that made this list, Armand Membou for the New York Jets. And a lot of casuals are like, whoa, Justin Fields gets sacked all the time. Why would a Jets offensive lineman be on here? Well, Justin Fields holds onto the ball and doesn't throw when people are open. So that is a big reason why the sack numbers for the Jets have been up. Armand Membou has been really good this year. 71.1 PFF grade, 70 basically pass blocking, 74 run blocking. And he's only had 1 penalty this season while manning the offensive tackle position as a rookie. We don't see a lot of rookies slot into tackle positions unless they're, you know, very top end guys and have great success in their first year. Unfortunately for us, we've seen Membou slot in well. We've seen Will Campbell slot in well. We've seen Josh Simmons slot in well. So, like, there has been very good tackle play from this rookie class. Armand Membou stood out because in the run game, Dan, this guy is an absolute mauler right now, and he's athletic. He ran under a 5 time in his 40. This guy can play. And another player, like, that just has extreme upside. And while the Jets have had a lot of downs this year with 0 wins, Membou is one of the lone bright spots. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the player. He was drafted high for a reason. Just he's 6'4", 332, and then you look at him and you're like, wow, man, like a guy that big can move that quick, and he's got great hips and he's real flexible. It's just amazing that he can do that with how big he is. That's why he got drafted so high. I like this tape. You know, he's a rookie. He's gonna have losses in his rookie year. He's still young. He's gonna develop. But I've liked what I've seen so far. I mean, last week he was, according to PFF, he was had a 95.6 pass blocking efficiency rating. That was second among rookies in the NFL. ESPN had some good stats. He was like a 90% pass blocking efficiency last week, 79.3 run blocking percentage. So he's got good numbers for a rookie, and I've been I guess I don't know if impressed is a good word, but I've been surprised. Like I'm glad to see it for the guy. He was drafted high for a reason, and you got to give love to this guy. The Jets haven't won a game yet, but he's working hard. He's competing. He's appeared in every game, and shout out to the tackle out of Missouri, man. Got to give him some love.
100%. The last player and the least surprising one, Emeka Egbuka for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everybody at the draft, and I was there at the draft and in the war room, was like,
Oh,
what? Why are the Buccaneers drafting a wide receiver? They don't need a wide receiver. Well, clearly they do with the amount of injuries this team has every single week. And Emeka Egbuka is automatically slotted in as this team's potential wide receiver one, and he's going to be with Mike Evans now out for the season. Been an absolute baller, basically scoring touchdowns every single week, has 527 yards, and he's top 10 for yards after the catch so far this season. I mean, the guy has been an absolute dog this year. And a lot of what we talked about with Emeka Egbuka is he's going to be a slot receiver. He's always really good in the slot, but I've been very impressed that he can stretch the field vertically and basically run every single route in the book. He has been so good. Another Ohio State product at receiver. Him and Baker Mayfield are going to have a long-term connection, and he is the long-term replacement for Evans and Egbuka in Tampa Bay. Dan, what are your thoughts?
yeah. Just like you said, man, you rattled off his stats. He's first among rookie wide receivers in receiving yards. He's got 5 touchdowns. That leads rookie wide receivers as well. 6'1", 205, drafted 19th overall from the Ohio State University. I guess if there's
Mhm.
any question left, if there's any question left, who is wide receiver you? I think Ohio State is currently first place in that category. Exhibit A is Emeka Ibuka. We're getting spooky during Halloween season. Yeah, just he's the after 5 games, he was the third player in the Super Bowl era to record 425 receiving yards and 5+ touchdowns. The other two wide receivers to do that were Randy Moss and Jamar Chase. Whenever you're on a list with those two elite wide receivers, you're doing something good. So far so good through 7 games, and been impressed so far with him. So we're gonna see if he can continue to take this rocket ship to new heights the rest of the way.
100%. Well, guys, appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video here. Drop a comment down below if we missed any rookies or you're not very impressed with the rookies that we talked about in this video. The NFL season still has a ton of weeks left, and there's a whole postseason that are left to play out. And while we think these guys are going to be really good the rest of the season, who knows? They could surprise us the second half, and there could be some guys that Colston Loveland was a name mentioned completely take over in the second half of the year. Hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports Media content, and me and Dan will catch you guys next time.